Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Arsenio Hall used to be one of the most inescapable faces on screen. He more than held his own against Eddie Murphy in the late 80s classic comedies Harlem Nights and Coming to America presented the MTV Video Music Awards. 4 years in the row and even had his own self-titled, if very short-lived, network sitcom. Of course, the funny man is best known for another eponymous vehicle. The Arsenio Hall show was the coolest late-night talk show from 1989 until 1994 and then again from 2013 until 2014. But since then, the Cleveland native appears to have kept a relatively low profile, but Hall is still very much in the business and chances are that you will see him more frequently in the 2020s than you did in the previous 2 decades. From legal battles and long-awaited sequels to Netflix specials and nostalgia fest, here's a look at his recent life story. Back in the early 90s, Arsenio Hall and Jay Leno were fierce rivals on the late-night talk show circuit. The former once claimed he would kick the latter. When it came to the ratings, he also alleged that his nemesis was responsible for the rumors about Hall pressuring African-American celebrities into completely bypassing the Tonight Show, and he also alleged that Leno had rubbed several other former pals up the wrong way. Telling Entertainment Weekly something's wrong with someone who is always surprised about people being upset with him, but the two comics appear to have patched things up when Hall took a correspondent gig on Leno's show in 2009. And 2023, they hit the road together alongside another funny man turned talk show host, Craig Ferguson, for a tour dubbed Kings of Late Night. The trio took in the lates of Pittsburgh Rivers Casino and Cincinnati Hard Rock Casino, and Shannon Redmonds, the former's marketing vice president, could not have been happier at the news. In a press statement, she said, "We are so excited to have these late-night comedy legends making a stop here in September. Our guests are in for a night of laughs with these three." Arsenio Hall did not have a particularly great late summer in 2022. According to TMZ, the former talk show host home was burgled twice in the space of a few weeks, leaving detectives to investigate whether he was being specifically targeted by Croc. The first incident happened in August when two intruders smashed a window at the back of Hall's Los Angeles property. Luckily, the comedian's presence at the time scared the pair off before they could steal anything. Then in September, the Harlem Nights star discovered some shattered glass from a sliding door after hearing a loud noise while upstairs in the same home. Unfortunately for Hall, on both occasions, police were unable to apprehend any suspects in what was the latest in the long line of celebrity burglaries. In the Californian city, Kim Kardashian, Usher, and Nicki Minaj were just a few of the famous faces who would previously fallen victim to the crime. Arsenio Hall gave a young Chris Rock one of his earliest national TV appearances back in 1989 on his eponymous late-night vehicle, so it was little surprise when the former talk show host revealed whose side he was on when asked by ET about the slap he heard around the wall. Referring to the Academy Awards incident in which Rock was slapped live on stage by Will Smith after insulting his wife Jada Pinkett Smith, Hall leaped to the defense of his longtime pal. "You know how athletes stick together against Skip Bayless? That's how comics are. No matter what goes down, we support each other." Hall, who was helping to promote Rock's Netflix special Selective Outrage at the time, went on to add, "Because if I dog a comic, it's a slippery slope for me, so I support freedom of speech and anything a comic wants to do. I don't know comics that are haters of other comics, so everybody was supporting Chris." In the summer of 2022, Arsenio Hall sold the Los Angeles property that he had called home for 30 years. According to Dirt, the funny man accepted a $9 million offer for the Hilltop estate in Papanja, a mountainside community nestled between San Fernando Valley and Malibu, boasting a living space of 10,000 square feet and spanning over 34 acres. The house had been continually added to, upgraded by Hall ever since his eponymous chat show went into syndication in the early 1990s, as well as the main quarters. Its new owners, Rob Fedoris, a financial services executive, and his partner Liz Hopkins, could also benefit from 2 extra buildings and amenities such as full-size tennis court, playground, and putting green. As for Hall's new residence, well, the Coming to America star initially decided to downsize in the neighborhood of Tarzana in a pad previously owned by Sean Murray, the actor best known for portraying Special Agent Timothy McGee in crime procedural NCIS. But a year later, the comic bought a second home, a farmhouse-style property in the gated community of Calabasas that set him back a cool $5.2 million. The housing merry-go-round continued when Hall then put up the Tarzana home for a similar price. Apart from his unlikely feud with Sinead O'Connor, Arsenio Hall has managed to avoid getting sucked into any celebrity beefs on social media, and that's because the comic, who's racked up more than 4 lakh followers on both Twitter and Instagram, is very much about spreading the love when he's online. In a chat with Magic Johnson, the basketball legend who Hall teamed up with in the early 1990s to help eradicate the stigma of living with HIV for an interview. The comedian revealed that he has no interest in becoming a keyboard warrior. He said, "Some people get caught up in arguing and conflict, and I really try to avoid that. I refuse to get into a keyboard skirmish with anybody. I try to be positive." Hall then gave an example of how he believes such platforms should be used. "When I was hosting my talk show, the first group I had on was Woodoni. They came and did Freaks Come Out at Night. The other day, one of the gentlemen is Woodini, John Stacey Fletcher, passed away. I used Twitter to uplift him and say nice things to his family. I think that's what Twitter should be for." Thanks for watching. Like, share, and comment.